doing solving quadratic equations. The first one is x squared minus 2x minus 15. So, Tolman, what's the reference number?
The reference number is 15.
Minus 15?
Okay, minus 15.
Now, two numbers that multiply together to give you 15.
3 and 5.
3 and 5, which is correct. Now, which one should be positive and which one should be negative?
Should it be minus 3?
Now, minus 3 plus 5 gives you plus 2. You want a minus 2. So
plus 3
yeah,
minus 5.
Plus 3 minus 5. So that's your first thing, okay? Now, does plus 3 multiplied by minus 5 give you minus 15?
Yes.
It does. You can check that out if you want. Just count up in minus 5s, minus 5, minus 10, minus 15. So what do I do next, Tommy?
You go x
Plus 3.
Plus 3.
And
X minus 5.
Okay. And then what? Either the first number equals 0 or the second number equals 0. So what you do once you've written that down?
You go x equals 3.
Now when it goes over to the other side?
It goes over the other side. So
it changes to?
It goes to minus 3.
3, fair enough. And x minus 5 when it goes over to the other side?
X plus 5.
X equals plus 5, right, so that's one of them completely done, okay? Alright guys, what we go for next is Jan. Jan, you're going to tell me how to do number 18, okay?
Okay, so it's x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, Jan. You're doing alright. Speed. Right, there's a nice pink line. Now, x squared minus 5x plus 6. Okay, what's the reference number, Jan?
6.
It's 6. Is it plus 6 or minus 6?
Plus 6.
Okay, now what you break up plus 6 into?
Minus 2, minus 3.
Minus 2 minus 3. Let's check it out. Is minus 2 minus 3 minus 5? When you add them together? And when you multiply minus 2 by minus 3, does it give you plus 6? Okay, now what's next then?
So you do bracket x minus 2.
Yeah.
And then x minus 3.
Equals 0, so yeah. Now what's the next step?
Then, so you play those numbers, so you take out the x, so you take out x minus 2 and make it equal 0, and then x minus 3.
So either the first number equals 0 or the second number equals 0, then what?
And then you move the two numbers onto the other side, so x equals 2 and x equals 3.
X equals 2, x equals 3. That's perfect. Okay. Now that's done, we finally have number 20. Okay. Okay, so number 20. X squared plus 2x equals 0. So what do we get now? Go on, Joey.
So x bracket x plus 2.
Well done. Equals 0.
0.
Yeah.
And the first x, so x
Equals 0. And then
equals minus 2.
x plus 2 equals 0. And as Joey said, bring over the 2 on the other side and we get minus 2. Okay, guys. Earlier in the year, you learned what a squared minus b squared is. You did this in the factorizing part where you said it's a plus b multiplied by a minus b. We have a question. We have this question here, x squared minus 64. And x squared minus 64. Now what we got to do with x squared minus 64 is this. X squared stays as x squared, but 64 changes into 8 squared. Now, instead of a we have x, and instead of b we have
64.
not 64? 8, because look, the 2 is there, the 2 is there. So instead of the b we have 8. So it's going to be x plus 8x. Now remember, all of this has to equal 0. So like last time, it's blame the first number, blame the second number. So it's going to be x plus 8 equals 0, or x minus 8 equals 0.
Good afternoon, all teachers. Please keep the absence list.
And so we're going to get x equals minus 8 and x equals plus 8. Okay? Now I'm going to just, next one we're going to do is we're going to do x squared minus 100 equals 0. So once again, you write down this formula I'm writing here, has to be memorized off by heart. You're not giving it in the junior cert. Okay? Now we're going to get x squared minus 100. Now what can you tell me, what can 100 change into? 10 squared. And then we're going to get? X plus 10, x minus 10, all that equals? Then what happens? X plus 10 equals 0. X minus 10 equals 0. And then? And x equals? Plus 10. Now, I'm about to show you a question that will explain all three different ones. Okay, I'm going to give you three questions at the same time, and I'm going to tell you how I identify which version I'm meant to do. Okay, so first question I'm going to write down is the one we just did more or less. Okay, so I'm going to do x squared, just x squared minus 25 equals 0. Nice and easy. My next question is going to be x squared plus 25x. Okay, and my last question is going to be x squared plus 25x, two numbers, that would be 5, so that would be plus 100. Okay. Now guys, look at this. These are three questions that look very alike, don't they? They look very alike, but they're all done completely differently. Okay? In fact, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to do one thing here. I'm actually going to change them. I'm going to change the middle part, all the minuses, to make them even look more alike. Okay? Now look at this. They look really alike now, don't they? Now all three have a different way of doing it. Now the first way is there's no middle x value. That's the first example. That's the example I taught you today. So how do we do this one again?
X plus 24,
5, not 25, okay? So it's going to be x squared minus 5 squared, and then you're going to get x plus 5 and 5, and that equals 0. Then you're going to get x plus 5 equals 0, x minus 5 equals 0, x equals 5, and x equals minus 5. Now guys, please remember, when you multiply out this red box, what should you get back? You should make sure that 5 by 5 gets you 25. That's where the big error comes in. Now look at the middle one. This one has no last number. And when it has no last number, what do you do? Joe, you told me earlier.
So x bracket x minus 25.
X bracket x minus 25 equals 0. So either the first number equals 0 or the second one equals 0. And in this case, x equals 25. Do you understand the difference between the first and second question?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now we're on to the third part. The third part has all three numbers. When you have all three numbers, you're going to do what's called the reference number. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Reference number. So, Stephen, what do you get for this one? What is the reference number?
100.
And what does 100 break up into? Just choose some numbers. Pick any number that will divide into 100. 50 by 2. Now 50 by 2 won't work because it doesn't add together to give you 25. Pick another one. Yeah. Lads, 20 and 50 doesn't work. Pick another number. 25 and 4. 20 by 5 will work. Minus 20 minus 5. So guys, we're alright. So it's going to be minus 20 minus 5. And what's going to happen here is we're going to get x minus 20. X minus 5 equals 0. Then we're going to get x minus 20 equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0. X equals 5. Or x equals. Look at them. The three completely different sets of answers. Okay. So that's